So a question came up and it was about absent students and what do we do with students that are out for a long period of time or maybe they're quarantined. And so for this advice column, we're going to be talking about how to kind of help meet those needs of those absent students. So the first idea is roadmaps. I really like this idea. And again, you need to train your students ahead of time. And so this is like a roadmap. This idea came from Amanda Sandoval. And what students do is they can watch instructional videos and then do the activity. So they would watch you instruct and then they do it. Again, it does take a little bit of setup, but if you kind of do this for even your kids inside, you have time to pull groups for small group activities. So you can kind of see here that there's a ton of different resources in here that you can view, and you can go in and you're able to really start to understand how this roadmap works and what you might need to do in order if your student is out for a long period of time. So here's a really good example with Screencastify. Students join an ed puzzle class, they watch a video, they watch another video, they take a Google form quiz. After they take their quiz, they come and check in with the teacher. So if the student is out, maybe they hop on and they've set up an appointment time with you to quickly meet for 5 minutes. And if you have a blended learning classroom and your other students are working on this roadmap, you could be meeting with a student while other students are working on something independently like the roadmap. Then they watch a video and they do it. And again, another teacher check-in. So that student would maybe set up another appointment slot. So here again, it's just, again, going through, they do different tasks depending on where they're at, and they watch videos of you. Another idea is grouping students. So in this station rotation, you could set up a station rotation in your classroom. And what I loved is on this slide right here, slide 8, if you have absent or quarantined or remote students, consider grouping them together and then meeting together online in that teacher station. So you'll have a student that you'll meet with small group and they're all here. Another group's working on something else. The online group that is at home is working on something. Um, and so with 4. And then when you rotate your stations, that group would hop on with you. So again, you could kind of set up that station rotation model in your classroom where students are working on these different activities. So like here, and when they get to the teacher station, if they're at home, they just join a Google Meet with you. And if they're not, they complete these other activities at home. So again, if the student is okay and well enough to get on, or maybe they're just quarantined because of parent, but they're not sick, they might be able to do that. However, we do have some students that are really sick. And so maybe we want to do something else. And I'll get to that on idea number 4. So right here, we do have a creative Flipgrid. Students can design, you can have a Flipgrid created for your students, and what they do is they go on and they add messages. This idea was from Caitlin, and so I just thought it was a really good idea, so I wanted to add it. Maybe they have questions, so they go to the Flipgrid and they can ask you right away. They can share their screen, and they can leave those questions that they might have. Maybe they need to just connect with other students for like SEL reasons. So you could create a Flipgrid and they could chat back and forth with a classmate, maybe one of their friends. This idea 4 would kind of be when they come back. Maybe on Fridays you do kind of like a catch-up day. And so you could set up a menu where there's like a must do, a may do, and then catch up. So right here on this catch up would be for the students that are missing. Maybe they come work with you in a small group to kind of catch up on some of that work. And then they can kind of work through it. As other students are there, they might be able to do these project, longer type of activities that are really engaging, like design a t-shirt about the content, create an infographic. So those students could be working on that while the other students can be working on maybe some catch-up type of activities while the other students again are working on like a project to extend their knowledge. If you have other ideas, please share. So right here is a Google form because we're all struggling with this. And so just fill this out, go down to the bottom where it says absent students, and then give us your advice. Because again, we're not alone and we need each other. If you have questions, feel free to Google chat me, send me an email. Happy to connect and work more on this and brainstorm alongside with you.